The Brisbane Lions touchdown in Melbourne, plotting a familiar path in the quest for back-to-back premierships.
Lachie Neale's moment of truth arrives at main training tomorrow. John Longmire takes us inside the biggest selection call of the year.
And what becomes of Zach Merritt's? The new Essendon president equally resolute. The captain is going nowhere.
Talked about is step into it, embrace all of it.
Get in the room and fix it.
It's unedifying for a senior coach to do that.
Err on the side of caution with the brain. Take the man off.
They played the best footy I've ever seen at the start of the season. And if you'd said Brisbane lift the cup, I would have said, of course they do.
It's the stuff that legends are made of.
What is holding the ball? I don't think I could answer it clearly right now.
I could do something wrong, and I need to go. And the board sacks me.
The fans love it, and with no fans, no 360, right?
Grand final week is coming together, guys. I've got the Snoop Dogg merch, which is a safer thing to say after midnight than it is now, I imagine, in most circumstances. But
no, what you got to put your Snoop? You want your Snoop Dogg? Is this a
bucket hat?
Is this a Snoop Dogg hat?
You have your Snoop Dogg Guernsey for the
Anything
day?
in there that
we should choose?
No, nothing.
Anyway, I'm not quite sure
and
about
a
that.
Snoop Dogg jumper.
Yeah.
That'll be a collector's item. Hang on to that, Gerard. Yeah, my word, it will. Get the dog to put his moniker on that. That's one of the rarest things I've ever seen. A Snoop Dogg
I was a
footy
bit surprised when that arrived today, but anyway,
got a number on
each their own, it does.
25. Of course, it's 2025.
All right. So today we learnt of the Cup presenters. This is one of the beautiful new additions that's been added along the way, one of our nostalgic touches. The two clubs have gone. Geelong have gone with Joel Selwood, and Brisbane Lions, Jonathan Brown, as Lee Matthews told us on Monday night. So what have we had? We've had Bob Davis and Peter Moore and Lee Matthews. Yep. You did it. What strategy? Yeah, well, I'll be watching. They're inspired choices. How emotional if Joel was to present it and hand it over to his great mate Paddy, that would be awesome. And then if the big fella, if he gets up there, I've got to have to put the clock on him. You can't linger, Gerard. It's up, hand it over and get off. It's not about you. I'm worried that Brownie might linger. He might not want to jump off that stage too quickly. So I'm going to have the clock on Brownie. But I love both of them. I love both those players. They epitomise what's great about our game. So either one will be fantastic. Yeah, so for Joel, those are the scenes 2022, which was his last game, and knowing the tragedy that has befallen the family over the past 12 months, is that will drip with emotion if he does happen to be there at the end. No question about that. So either way, we'll be thrilled to see them up there. And the big fella's been on a bit of a solid campaign here. It might just pull him up a little bit shorter than what would otherwise be the case, which mightn't be the worst thing. What's the moment of realisation when you think, it's not going to be my team? Well, 21 points down, and Marcus Bontempelli just slotted one. I thought that's the end of me. Chris Grant's going to be doing the job, but it's the most redundant role in footy if you're not the presenter. Yep. It's good in the build-up, Gerard. Then you just push aside like everyone else. So these are great presenters that we've got here, and there's another one of our boys going to be involved. Yes, all right. So this is what we've got lined up for you tonight. Simmo and Horse, the grand final edition. So there's a bit of down memory lane and a bit of plotting and scheming for the weekend ahead. John Longmire and Adam Simpson. Simon Meredith and Jacob Mollison are two of our four field umpires. They're here. And Mark Knight, it's a great tradition on this night that he unveils the posters, the night posters, which are such collector's items for winning fans. And the one that doesn't get used might go into the vault with a Snoop Dogg jumper. Nice. Midweek tackle following us. There's so much happening in footy right now. Lauren Wood, Scott Gallen's just back from Tokyo, and John Ralph as well. And tomorrow night, our grand final edition, so I can't offer you 15,000 fans at Rod Laver. This is what I've got for you, though, guys. Josh Dunkley, he did it last season, so he's staying with what works for him. It's a great lineup. Simon Goodwin, Jack Revolt, Ray Chamberlain, Toby Green, Alistair Lynch, Ebony and Ali have got a great story to tell on the AFLW side of things, and Bernie Vince as well. Ray could sing a song for us. He'd put his hand up. Forget the Elton John gear again. No, he wore down the slide. All right, let's get into it. Top of the agenda, the moment is getting close for Lachie Neale. The story that is unfolding around his most unlikely selection for this grand final. He has to get through main training at Icon Park tomorrow to complete what 3 weeks ago felt like mission impossible. We're guessing. My gut feel would be it's a massive risk, and I've got Pendlebury in the back of my mind, but their gut feel might be, we're not listening to you. We're playing one of the best players in the comp.
With muscular injuries, You're never sure you're okay until you've played a couple of games back. It is a conundrum.
He knows what's at stake. He's not taking this decision lightly. I'm confident with that aspect of it.
I would imagine it'll either be Thursday, maybe Friday. He's either good to go or he's not.
I'm playing my best sort of thing. I'd roll the dice.
I think Lachie expects that he's going to be right to go, but we'll still wait and see.
The coaches hate the sub rule, but the fact you have got a sub, I would take the risk.
If the medical staff and our fitness people give him the tick-off, then I'm going to back him in.
These things break either way, and they're always written in hindsight. Jeremy McGovern and Stephen May played through their ailments in winning sides. The cautionary tales are probably Phil Davis and Sam Reid. They're not isolated, those two, either side of it. But they're big decisions to make. So the grand final health update is for HBF Health Insurance. When you boil it all down, he's got to get through training tomorrow. So there's a lot of jumping that marker. And I imagine he'll be put through a relatively serious test.
Yep.
And then the moment arrives. Do you or don't you?
Yeah, I suspect he's in until he's out. I think that's, everything that we've heard, Chris Fagan last night talking to us and his reaction after they won on Friday night, I think he's in until it's proven that he's not in. That's the way I'm reading it at the moment. I suspect that they won't take that risk with Berry. They couldn't take a risk with two of them. So, no, the dual Brownlow medalist has earned the right, and as long as he puts his hand up, and he'll be, as Fague says, he'll be brutally honest with himself and what's best for the team. And I suspect right now that everyone is planning for Lachie Neale to play. I suspect Geelong are planning for him to play as well until he comes up to them and says, I'm not. That's the way I'm reading it. What about you?
So round 21, it was a quad. It kept him out for 3 weeks. The qualifying final last quarter, it's a calf, and he misses 2 and gets himself back after the club had ruled him out for the remainder of the season. It felt like a flight of fancy at the start. You do whatever you need to do to stay motivated and stay connected, and then he's forced it, which is credit to his recuperative powers. That probably the one caution note that's been offered to me by a couple of people who follow the NBA is there has been a sequence of players who've torn their Achilles while rushing back from calf injuries, and Tyrese Halliburton was in the NBA finals, and it's going to cost him another season in the aftermath. So these things aren't without their risk, not only on the day itself, but I suspect Lachie's the sort of player, I'll defer to you here, is play in tight triangles, do all the hard work, and some of the running you would typically have done. We'll sacrifice that for your skill around the footy, and just knowing how... the vision of him last year, and you spoke about how clean they are, he was the cleanest player on the field last year. He could easily have been the Norm Smith medalist. So if he can give you that and you can work out how to cover a little bit of the run, that's sort of the strategic piece, I would guess.
It could be. I don't subscribe to that too much. I think when you're out there, you can't pick and choose when you're going to run and when you're not going to run. And it's more about and whether or not that would protect the calf in terms of whether he does it again. My experience with, and I only had a bit of soft tissue late in my career, it's you can do all the training, and this is the risk that they'll take. And you get out there, and as soon as the game starts, your split-second reaction to change of direction or loose ball or whatever is nothing that you can replicate through a training session. And that's the risk that they would take going in. And there might be a moment where, all the intensity of the grand final will mean that the stress on the body is nothing like you're going to do at a training session. And that might just go. And that is the risk that they're going to have to take. And I think the eyes are wide open for everyone involved. He could tick every box. Yep, I'm right. Get through training, pull up well. They go with him, and it wouldn't surprise too many people if it went early. I hope like hell it doesn't for the sake of him and the game. But if it did, you'd say, OK, that's the risk that we took.
All right, here's Dane Zorko, the designated spokesman on arrival tonight.
Right now, just stay in the moment, enjoy it. It's such a great week, right? Even getting here earlier, we get to stay near the MCG and the buzz around the park and everything like that. It's just a really cool week to be a part of, and to be the centre stage of that on Saturday afternoon is a real privilege. Sat next to him. He's good. He's obviously got to get through training tomorrow. He'll probably have a little bit more of a different session than us, I imagine, but sitting next to him on the plane, he seemed good, seemed happy, so that's a good sign. He knows his body better than us, so, look, I know Lachie always puts the team first, and he will on this occasion as well, so he knows what it's like. He knows he's got to put his body through a fair bit tomorrow to get through, and if he does that with flying colours, we trust him to make the right call.
So John Longmire knows these calls ever so well, as this day last year he was ruling his captain out of the grand final, and they sort of had calls that went either way as well. We won't stray too far from the grand final, but Essendon's president Andrew Welsh has been on duty for 24 hours. He's been on the hustings, he's answered the questions, he's spoken to the fan base, he's guaranteed that day one of pre-season Zach Merrett will still be a Bomber. You had a terrific exchange with him on radio today.
I don't think, with all due respect, Gary, that Zach's disgruntled.
I'm not being argumentative for the sake of it, but it doesn't ring true to me, Welsh. He is disgruntled. Otherwise, he wouldn't be meeting with another club in the manner that he has.
I can only say from conversations with Zach, from conversations with, he's driven for success, Gaz, and he hasn't seen that. Rightfully so at our football club, which is disappointing because we're all there working for success, and we want to make sure that he sees the vision, he sees where we're going, and he's a very big part of that.
It's been through a few ebbs and flows, this. What were your first impressions of Andrew Welsh's defence?
Clearly I didn't agree with him about the disgruntled, but I don't want to hang him on that. I think he's a first-up president that's been thrown at the deep end. I think he's going to be fantastic for them. I mean, he's got great energy. Dean Solomon's circulated the email close to Andrew as a boardman, but also as a great mate. I think he'll be fantastic in the role, but I didn't agree with him. And look, we had Zach on our show here throughout the course of the year, and we put it to him in the strongest possible terms that, this is what we're hearing. Is there any truth to it? No truth. So I think what Zach's... And it's a hard position for Zach to be in, but I don't take anything that he says right now. I take it all with a grain of salt. I don't know what he's telling Andrew. I don't know what he's telling other people. He clearly told us one thing and other things were at play, and that's a difficult road to try and negotiate when you're in the media. And Andrew's trying to put his best foot forward there, so I don't hang him up on that. I don't agree with him in any way, shape or form about the disgruntlement that's clearly there. But as to whether or not, Ridley's turned around and said he's coming back, so that's a big tick for him.
Lines of communication are obviously open, and Welsh was active in that last Friday.
Yeah, so I think that's really significant and important. And, we almost, to a man, didn't see a way back for Zach Merrett, captaincy or otherwise. And maybe it's changed. Maybe there has been... I know that there's been more optimism from Essendon's point of view. But again, what's happening with Zach away from them and away from the club is hard to decipher.
Trade periods aren't easy to navigate, especially with a commodity like this who's got 2 years to run. But I do think once you come to the job as president fresh, and he is fresh, and you guarantee that he's going to be there on the first day of pre-season, I think you have to live that. So if there was a possibility that they were going to trade him, the new president had the absolute right just to leave himself just a wedge of space to be able to navigate into in 3 weeks' time.
Yeah.
He shut that absolutely.
He did.
If I'm an Essendon fan, I don't want him coming to me in 3 weeks' time saying, we traded him.
Well, I'm not...
Today was the day.
Yeah, I'm not ruling it out, Gerard. I'm putting that down to perhaps a bit of naivety for a first-up president in his first media, and I'll cut him a bit of slack.
I expect him to be at Essendon now. I expect them to absolutely live their word. They've done it over and over and over, and this was their moment just to create a little bit of wiggle room. If you're going to stay so strong with your fan base, then you best follow through.
Things change for me. And you can be resolute one day in football and you can go, goalpost move the next.
All right. Let's bring in a couple of our umpires, shall we? It's a great honour to be one of the 4 chosen. One of these is doing it for the 10th time and another for the 2nd. So there's a blend of the old and the new.
It's just as big a thrill as doing your first. So, you look forward to this week every year and every chance you get. It's, it's such a privilege and honour to represent not only the AFL umpires, but all umpires around the country. So really looking forward to it again.
As an umpire, you sort of work your whole life to sort of reach this moment. And, when I got the phone call, I was sort of speechless. Couldn't put words together. And, it's a dream come true. The cliche is it's just another game, but it's not. It's a grand final and you want to get it right. But I guess our job is to let the players shine, and let them decide the game.
Andrew Stevens in his first, Hayden Mayers in his second, Jacob Mollison's in his second. Jacob, great to have you here.
Thanks, Gerard. Thanks.
Simon Meredith's in his 10th. Simon, what a magnificent achievement. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah.
What are you doing here? You should have pulled rank and said, Andrew, you get in. I've done 10.
We tucked the new guy away so he can just relax and enjoy the week.
When do you get an inkling? Do you get an inkling throughout the finals campaign that you're a chance, or you've 10 times now? You must know whether you're going to get this.
You never know. You're never real confident about it. We wait for the call on Monday, just as nervous as ever. I was walking laps of the street. You were out running, trying to wait for the call.
Do you get nervous, Jacob, in the finals? We have Ray here obviously every week, and he says that how you umpire through the finals campaign has a big bearing on whether you get the big gig. Is that back of your mind throughout this finals campaign?
I think every time you go out there, you just want to put on the best performance that you can, I suppose, at the end of the day. But I think what held us in good stead, we had 3 of the last 4 games together, the same crew that's going out there on Saturday. So we're
the whole lot?
Yeah, we're very familiar with each other and have umpired quite well in some of those games. So that gives us a lot of confidence going in each week and into Saturday.
So you were the Friday night crew. What is that worth, Simon? You've seen lots of different crews, and to just have a little bit of stability together.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, certainly you know where everyone's going to be. You know the lead up and how everyone sort of reacts leading in, and just about basically what the team's going to put out there, and the knowledge of how we're going to operate the system. Basically throughout the whole game.
So how many games together in the lead-up then did you have? Is it through the finals or does it go further back than that?
We did round 24, week 1 and week 2 of the finals.
Right. Yeah. And how's Andrew feeling about it all? Have you spoken to him for his first grand final?
Yeah, he's wrapped and well-deserved too. Like, he's done 5 prelim finals and, to achieve this now, it's just a great feather in his cap. He's super excited.
And the bounce, I'm fascinated with this. Because it is the moment. I think we've got the man here.
We do.
It is the moment. All eyes are on it, and you've got the ball in your hand for the first bounce. It's going to be you, Jacob?
Yeah, I'm going to have a go at it, Gary.
And?
We decided today. I got some sound advice when I did the Granny in 21 from Simon, and sort of said, your first one, ease into it, what have you. So I let Stevic take that one back then, and this year I sort of get to reciprocate that for Andrew. Sort of said, look, he might want to take it, but if there's any nerves or if there's any reason why you don't want to, I'm happy to do it. So I'm really excited. I haven't done it before, so super excited to give it a go on Saturday.
Your grand final was Perth during one of the COVID years. So is it an additional thrill to know that this one's at the MCG?
100%. Yeah, like it's been the driving force for me to really want to try and get that one on the G. Doing it in Perth was amazing, but had to sort of celebrate with the family via the FaceTime after the game and what have you, whereas this time we will get to see each other. So
don't undersell that Perth grand final. You're 10th in a row. What is it about you? And modesty might prevent you here. Might have to ask Jacob, but that is 10 grand, not in a row, but 10 grand finals. It's just unbelievable.
Oh, it is. Like it's. I just get so excited for this one as I was from the first one. So, we love being part of it. That's what you strive for. That's what you want to do. And just to represent not only our group, but umpires all around Australia on the biggest day for us is such a thrill.
You sneak out and have a look at the dog before you're going to stick your head out? Do you do that, the pre-game entertainment?
Dog?
Oh, well, yeah, we might be able to just sneak up the race a bit and see what he's delivering. So hopefully we can soak it in a bit.
All right, I got 2 for you, and I'm going to borrow Gary's line. I'm not trying to be argumentative here. If the Starcevich-Elliott moment presents exactly as it did, what will you pay on Saturday?
I'd be more inclined to pay free kick. I'd like to see the ball smashed away, a more clearer contact with the ball. That's with the benefit of seeing it on super slow-mos and things like that.
Seeing the traffic out here, the Collingwood supporters just turn around.
And the second one, obviously, is the Brownlow voting. Is it time for the umpires to have all the available information to use as you choose?
I think it certainly helps. It would help us do it a lot quicker, but also, just having every piece of information would eliminate these isolated instances where, we sometimes doesn't marry up with what the greater footy world sees. So I think, whatever info you can get helps.
Hey, congratulations to both of you. It's awesome. So you going around again, you're in good hands, and Jacob?
Yep.
Bounce it straight.
Thanks, boys.
Good on you. Simon and Jacob with us. They are heading to the grand final on Saturday. 2 who know the scene so well as players and as coaches, long-time comrades and peers. They've guided us right through the year, so now more than ever. John Longmire and Adam Simpson to join us at the desk, share their experiences, make us smarter for Saturday. Simmo and Horse, our favourite pairing. They make us smarter every week.
G'day, gents. That's probably one of the highlights, the best chases I've ever seen in my life.
Rioli with a big chase, about to be run down. He's got him!
That's his job. He's a small forward.
What's going on here?
Righto, Simmo. Well, I'm just saying.
You got the Queen wave going. I know exactly what's happening there.
What is it?
Are you a lip reader?
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay, what have you got for us?
Play your roll.
It's late change, AFL 360, Dan Scout Waitley in Simpson.
Just want you to make sure you check out the back there, Gaz. I mean, Gerard might be tied up somewhere at the back there. Simo's really going to town. He's doing a great job.
Have you thought about embracing fashion?
There's a different love in Sydney, isn't there?
He's got the sunnies on his head, if you don't mind. Come on, man.
Last night I was with my people down there at the Australian Fashion Week.
This is not the first time the horse has gone out a little bit of fashion. There's a show called Yellowstone. I flicked around and then I come across a new one, Longmire. And Longmire alongside Yellowstone.
It was my anniversary today, which I didn't realise. I got the arse on this day last year.
With sympathy running heavily for Simon Goodwin yesterday.
Yeah, I did text him, welcome to the SAC Coaches Club.
What did you actually call your club?
Coaches got the arse club. Yes.
Congratulations on being the Jock McHale Medal presenter.
You know I'm the bridesmaid. You know I was the second phone call.
I did get a phone call, Gaz, and...
What a pairing they have been throughout the years, Simmo and Horse. Our privilege we've been. Adam Simpson, great to see you.
Boys, big week.
John Longmire, welcome in.
Gents, how are you?
Who would have thought they're actually going to be funny? That was been one of the highlights for me, and a nice surprise, it has to be said, because you're pretty straight as coach. Let's be honest, you're pretty
Just
straight.
outside off stump.
Yeah, that's it, down the line. Yeah. Nah, you've been magnificent, both of you boys. There was a rising star.
Yeah.
But they're a bit old, both of them, for that.
I hope, given they're staying out of coaching, I hope they'll come back to us. Did you road trip here?
Yes, drove down. I sort of stopped halfway, just checked out the farm on the way down, Gaz.
Yeah, how'd the crops?
Yeah, the crops look magnificent. The canola looked beauuful, and made sure everything's in line for harvest. Just shaping things up.
You get back on the header?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed on the header. They're worth too much money. My brother reckons I'll crash it, so I'm not allowed on it.
What's your playlist for the drive?
I'm a big Dire Straits fan. Post Malone, I was in the top 3% of Post Malone listeners a couple of years ago, so Post also gets a run.
Nice.
Wouldn't have picked that, Gaz, would you?
I tell you, I'm learning a lot, because I've never played in the Premiership. You two have, obviously. And, Gerard, I didn't know it was so much fun. This was post-1999.
Do we have to put a warning on?
I tell you what, I knew it was an exciting...
I didn't feel comfortable in that.
I knew it. That's you right up the front, by the way.
I'm not in a comfortable position in that.
No.
I tell you, who's pretty happy is Horse at the very back.
Yeah, well, I was just standing there minding my own business, and next minute someone brought the cup in, and then everyone gathered around, and we all got a bit carried away.
That's a hell of a photo, right there.
One of those things you look
Naked
back on.
guns.
Yeah, just not sure about that.
Not sure about that one.
You published it.
They can replicate that this weekend. That'd be nice to see.
I reckon they're not doing that.
All right, the serious side of it is you get to this week and it's all that you've invested in and it's right there before us. What is the sense of consequence that sits over the week?
Well, we were talking about it before, weren't we, Simmo, upstairs, as far as the difference being a club outside of Melbourne and all that goes with that and having to, say, in Brisbane's case, turn the ship around again after sort of last week being down here, then going back up and then coming back down again. And there is a difference to it, isn't there, Simmo? The sort of the things you have to organise, the things that go through your mind, the fact that you're out of your own bed for quite a while. There's a few things you've got to consider.
It's hard to compare it to when you were playing in the 90s as to what's happening now. But, yeah, the interstate travel is another level of organisation that you have to do last week during the prelim, and you start talking about potential tickets and accommodation for your family last week. So it's probably more getting it done this week, but it's definitely different when you're interstate.
Any advantage for them to go back to Brisbane? And it's not as fanatical as Western Australia would be, but maybe from a Sydney point of view, heading back there and just getting out of the bubble for a few days?
I suppose, but it's probably just more routine. This is we go home, we get sorted, we see our families. Otherwise, we're not going to see them for the week, and they've done it with success last year. So whatever we did last year, we're doing again this year. So I noticed Dunkley's coming in tomorrow night, and that's what he did last year. So you do learn from your mistakes as well. They would have learned a lot from 23 as well.
And I imagine there's a lot to jam into the week. So as well as everything else, you've still got to get all the work done to be ready for the biggest game of the year. How did you find that through the attempts?
Yeah, it's a really good point. I mean, we used to, if we played on a Saturday and we won the prelim on the Saturday, for instance, there'd be a meeting straight away on the Sunday and get all the information out to the families, which was a really good morning, and you'd have a sort of a gathering, or we had a gathering of everybody, and you get all the logistics organised and out of the way, and then, as a coaching group and playing group, you've got a job to do, and you need to get to work, and no days off that week for the coaches. You sort of, the travel takes up a bit of time, so you need to get to work and understand that, 6 days' time it's on, and you need to, in this case, maybe change a few things depending upon which side of the ledger you're on.
Well, Geelong would have an advantage too. Like, they get their little break by just getting back down there, So they've probably got the perfect remedy from getting away from the action in the city and getting down there and coming back up fresh.
The joy of winning them? What's it like when you win it as a coach?
It's probably a little bit more relief as a coach. I would have thought you might be different, Horse, but I did feel more of a proud father type of
Did you
feeling.
like it better as a coach or a player?
Coaching felt a bit better, yeah.
Why?
I was a bit younger. You're a bit, it's more about you than anything.
When
but
you're playing?
When you're coaching, it's different.
I noticed that. It's a bit more about you.
Well, what about you?
Yeah, I get asked about it a bit. I think it's great as a player, but you're in your own world as a player. As a coach, you're much more aware of the broad ecosystem that you've got involved in, and you're much more aware of that.
Is there any anticlimax at all? I mean, you've been working for this the whole year. You get there, the moment's great, you're out here, and then there's any stage where you just need a quiet moment to get and just let it sink in?
Well, I mean, there I was, I was up on stage with Bobby Skilton, and you sort of walk off and you have a deep
back
breath.
There? Lost in the confetti.
Yeah, well, that's just me. I was a backroom guy. So I was just trying to get off and get the players a bit of time. But I think the first feeling is relief, but then it was. I think many people talk about if you could bottle that moment and just have a drink of it every now and then, that'd be ideal.
I turned into a bit of a social introvert, really, after the game and the celebrations and the function. I was back in my room with my wife watching the replay over a glass of red. So,
what time?
Oh, pretty early.
Really?
Yeah, as soon as you're so fatigued, and it was pretty emotional game, as you can expect, and the function after it, and you want to get away from the noise a little bit. So not sure what you did after your premiership, mate.
Yeah, I was a bit like you, Simmo. The moment is so big, you need to at some point just take a bit of downtime.
Did you get him in? I've seen, just in that room for 10 minutes. Did you do that? Just you, the players, the cup in the middle, staff,
and a couple
of beers. Yeah. That would be the great.
It's hard. The players is hard because they're going off.
Yeah.
But the staff and your immediate coaching staff, just for 10 minutes, you sit there and you just have to do that.
I made a bit of a point of in a couple of days' time, boys. I think the only thing I want you to do is make sure we get together as a group on Wednesday, and a couple of days later, sit down and savour it as a group.
Yeah. All right, and then the other side of the coin.
Yeah, well, that's terrible. Don't tell me that losing a prelim's worse than losing a grand final, because it's not.
Right.
And to lose the way we lost in 15, it just went like that. It went so quick, and we were on tilt, and we couldn't get out of it. So we.
What was the margin this?
It was 10 goals, but at no real stage did it look like we fired a shot.
Right.
And but
Is
we
that
don't
the most
win.
Frustrating bit when you don't.
Yeah, we'll probably touch on it now. Well, we beat Hawthorn in the first final, and we had a good day in the box, and all our players played their roles, and we just got outmanoeuvred in the grand final. We were young; they were going in their fourth grand final in a row. So that's what Chris is going through this week. What do we do? Everything worked so well in that first final. Are we doing the same thing? And then, conversely, Brisbane are thinking, OK, let's do this time. So there's this battle going when you play the same team in 3 weeks, and we didn't handle that the first time. The second time we played Collingwood, we played them in the first final as well, and we did some different things.
The losing side of things, John, for you, how did you find it?
Oh, it goes from your best week to your worst week pretty quickly, and you've still got commitments you need to fulfil, and when you're standing in the middle of the MCG afterwards, and that's not a great feeling. And then you've got to try and get the balance right between supporting your staff and supporting your players, but also supporting yourself. And those moments, you've got to be pretty succinct in how you address the playing group. You're not quite sure. Everyone gathers after those moments. I'm not sure what everyone expects you're going to say, but you don't say much. And then within 10 minutes, you're live in a press conference. And so you've got to gather your thoughts, and sometimes the press conference itself can be pretty chaotic. And you go straight from there on a bus straight to the function, 1,200 people, talking to your supporters. And then you go home nice and early and you sit there and you stare at the ceiling for a long time.
You do wake up the next day and there's that 5 seconds where you don't know what happened yesterday, and then you realise what happened yesterday. That's a bad morning too. So
that's a graphic. That's as graphic as you can hear it. And that is why winning them is so, I imagine, celebrated, because the opposite end is not even worth considering.
Even if you don't play finals, you end up in a cave for a few days. So when you lose a premiership, and you don't not turn up, but you just get outplayed on the day, and you just reflect on what did I do wrong, how did I prepare the players, and then we start thinking about travel and too many families, not enough families. Did we train the right times?
You very much turn the mirror on yourself, and you're very hard on yourself on the days after. You sort of look at yourself pretty hard, and it can be a very lonely experience.
Do you have someone that you can confide in, or is it a mentor that you've had through the...
Yeah, you do, but you tend to sort of work through it yourself a little bit. And in my case, there was one stage on the Sunday night, my wife said to me, OK, that's enough sooking. Right. You've got to get up the next day and lead these boys back. And sometimes that's the best advice as well.
Awesome.
So to the decisions of the week, you lived this day last year with Callum Mills, and the Brisbane Lions have a similar scenario unfolding with Lachie Neale. How big is the biggest call of the year for a club?
Oh, yeah, this is, if I look back at it as probably one of the biggest calls that, I had to make as a coach, but it was even bigger for Millsy, and particularly with the relationship. This is a long-standing relationship, comes through, in our case, comes through our academy, and you really, just respect him so much. And every decision's a bit different. You only know in the benefit of hindsight. You don't have that information in front of you when you're making the call. Everyone's an expert post the game, and so when you're leading up to it, you've got to just look at the facts. It's very, in Millsy's case last year, it was a soft tissue. It's very hard for him to make that call, because it's that's a big responsibility for him to carry.
Was he pushing hard?
Yeah, he got through the last training session, but he had a bit of tendon damage about 18 days before that, and it's a big, it's a big moment when you're having those discussions. And it was a pretty tough day. And if if we look at, you always look back, would we have done it better? If we gave him the opportunity to say, is he right? Would that have made any difference? You never know in the benefit of hindsight.
Did you? So Lockie's saying yes, as I understand it. Did he say, I'm ready to go?
Well, he trained, and he was, he got through the training session, and when we sat down as a medical staff and coaching staff, and we went through it with a fine-tooth comb, whether it was vision, whether it was stats, we went through everything. And in the end, someone's got to make a call, and quite often it sits with the coach.
That's a tough one. Where is it the player's decision or the coach's decision? So it looks like this scenario is the player. It's Lachie, if you think you're right, I'll play you. Whereas you made the call a bit earlier to go, no, I'm going to take it out of your hands.
Well, and it wasn't because I didn't trust him. I trusted him enormously. He's just such a wonderful leader. Just didn't want him carrying that burden. It didn't go right.
Tendon in your hamstrings is a 6-week injury. So
So how did you handle Gerard McGovern?
I walked on the ground when they did the fitness test. I saw him bump a bag, and I walked off the ground and said he's playing.
This is on the day?
Captain's run the day before. But it was like he had internal bleeding that couldn't get worse, but there's a lot of blood there that was floating around, and we didn't want him to do the grand final parade, and there was a $50,000 fine, and we were going to pay it and all this sort of stuff. And in the end, Gil rang and dropped the hammer, and he had to do it. But as soon as I saw him hit the bag, I just thought, I'm not stopping him. So, and it was the best thing we did. But the big fellas are different. So Lachie Neale's a different scenario. You can play him, and then a sub comes in, but a key position player has more to handle.
We played Shane Mumford in 2012. He got through. We played Sam Reid in 22, didn't get through. There's always
a story.
There's always a story.
All right, you've taken a team each here, so you alluded before to Chris got what he wanted in the qualifying final, and does he do it again?
What's he going to do? Is he going to do exactly the same thing? And if he is Chris Fagan ready for it? So if this happens again, and we've already heard McCluggage talk about his performance and how he do it differently, and I just get the feeling I did the same thing in 15 and it didn't work. In 18, we decided to tag Sidebottom in the second game. He had a really good prelim. So I suspect Chris will do something a little bit different. Chris Scott, that is. But how the hell would I know? Time will tell. So the fact is it works so well. You're just so tempted to go, all right, the last thing McCluggage wants is to be confronted again with Mullen or O'Connor and Rayner. Look at the way these guys tag too. Rayner on the right with O'Connor, that's a terrorised tag. Mullen on the left is a put-you-to-sleep tag. So we look at the terrorised tag, and this works often if you think you can get under someone's skin. And just after these bits of play, this is when he flopped and got the free kick. So you can see why Rayner was frustrated. And if you look at Mullen, he's just standing there. Atkins is different. He'll go to the best mid, just be on their back shoulder and take away any type of space. So they're your three type of tags. But Mullen gets advantage here by putting McCluggage to sleep. You notice where they started. McCluggage starts forward, so there's already a win for Chris Scott. And then Atkins gets his hands on the ball. He averages 20 plus possessions. So Ashcroft slides defensively. Atkins gets his hand on the ball. He's just there for a stoppage tag. And then, this 5-minute period, they really got a hold of Brisbane. So those three tags will happen again. I'm just not sure if it'll be the same three players, but time will tell.
Yeah, McCluggage does it. You don't want to give McCluggage anyone other than Mullen, surely. Not after what he did on the weekend.
You think so, but McCluggage, he won't be starting forward.
No, they'll be ready.
He'll be doing something different, and we spoke about the Sam Mitchell stuff in 13. He'll be going to someone else to free someone. They'll be better prepared, but then suddenly if Mullen goes to someone else, does that throw... So this is where the strategy during the week can win or lose you the advantage.
So the Chris Fagan side of things. John, you were part of the coaching staff that lost one as the West Coast and Sydney did it to each other in consecutive years, quite remarkably.
Yeah, I guess we went from probably tagging four West Coast players in 05 in the first final over there to tagging maybe 5 a couple of weeks later. But yeah, it's a little bit different. I mean, if we have a look at some vision, we've got some. We looked at the Brisbane-Geelong game a couple of weeks ago with Simmo, and I think you mentioned the other night, Gary, about the ability for Brisbane to be able to use their hands. And if you see this game, they just missed a lot of pretty simple targets in the handball, and it cost them 4 or 5 goals just with missing targets or actually just fumbling the ball. And I think it was 190 pressure Geelong went and 50 more handballs they had during this game. So, whether they get the opportunity, and just see also it's about the receiver. With the pressure of a grand final, you need to make sure you're not as far away as what you normally might be. You need to be in the V, make it a little bit easier for the handballer to be able to get the ball to you. This is a really good example of that, and try and get the ball forward. Can they quick kick and surge the ball forward a bit early? But you just see those handballs are a little bit far away, and they turn into goal opportunities. This is a great indicator. It'd be interesting to see early in the game what Brisbane do, whether they just back their improved handballing, which is what you mentioned.
It's a great point.
Or quick kick it.
That's the opposite of what we showed last time. They were clean against Collingwood, just didn't miss. They kept showing up for each other. And I think they had 51 tackles in the first half.
The pressure got to them, to Brisbane, and they didn't really recover. So it'd be interesting to see what they do.
And there's Dempsey going forward, which is what he does, and Lachie Neale coming in, and one of the cleanest players in the comp if he plays.
All right, who's your winner?
Really tough. I'm just going Brisbane just by a bit.
Yeah, I'm the same. Brisbane by 4 points.
All right. It's been great to have you as part of our show. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Enjoy Grand Final week as what's left of it. And good luck with your duties.
Don't muck that up.
Tomorrow night, Josh Dunkley will be with us. So last year came to the studio on the Thursday night as part of his preparation for a Grand Final, won his 2nd premiership. He's going for his 3rd and back-to-back with the Brisbane Lions. So Josh Dunkley is our headline guest on our special Thursday night of Grand Final weeks.
Welcome to the last Saturday of September. A peerless occasion to showcase the very best of our game. This grand final, like all before it,
It's rolling towards the boundary line at Harms almost. Max Brown, he tips it back to Sheldon. It's a goal!
will be defined by moments.
Just went straight at Brown.
It's a main event in any stadium in the world.
Slivers of time that we never see coming. But when we do, become truly unforgettable. It's dreams and, yes, nightmares.
It came up behind him like a librarian.
There's just no in-between on grand final day. These two know this stage all too well. Geelong and Brisbane. Two of the heavyweights this century, both deadlocked on 4 premierships. With a foundation of 2 golden dynasties, from Lethal's Invincibles
But the Lions have gone back to back to back.
to Geelong's Drought Breakers.
Yes! It's the Cats.
And get this, no team has won more games this decade than these two, punctuated by more silverware.
2 of football's most successful clubs.
And here they go again. The 2 heavyweights brimming with superstars. Patrick Dangerfield, what a name, what a player.
This is one they will talk about.
Game 359, arguably his very best.
He's got the cape on. He straps the Superman cape on Dangerfield.
How about this prize recruit, Bailey Smith? A headline act, both sides of the highway.
Time for a bit of baseball.
Look out when he tucks the footy under his arm. An explosion of power and talent.
He was born to be in this situation.
For the reigning champs, it's the ageless Dane Zorko.
They need a hero in a hurry, and it might be the Great Dane.
The former bricklayer from Broadbeach, but on the field, he's more of an architect.
The Great Dane for the finishing touch.
Then there's this wonderkind, Will Ashcroft.
Will Ashcroft.
12 months on from winning a Norm Smith medal in game 31.
The winner of the Norm Smith medal, Will Ashcroft.
Now running out grand final day with his brother. Talk about fulfilling the boyhood dream. It's Geelong and Brisbane back on the stage. They know better than anyone. The 2025 grand final, the very best of our game.
Everybody wants to rule the world.
Now that is a heavyweight encounter. Geelong and the Brisbane Lions, grand final day. One of my favourite parts of the year, Gaz, is when the night posters are unveiled. It was the WEG posters for so many years. He's made it his own, Mark Knight. It's great to see you on 360 again.
Thanks, Gerard. Great to be here. And gee, I'm excited after watching that package.
How good was it?
It's looking good.
Unbelievable.
Year number?
17 for me.
Yep. So Cats in 9, 11 and 22 and the Lions in 24.
They're like the default positions, these two clubs, just lately. I'm getting good at drawing Cats and Lions, but look, 2 great teams, and you know, I look for inspiration when I draw these things. So I watch the prelim final. Like with my political cartoons, you need something to get you going, and after watching Dangerfield tear through the Hawks, you know, I knew that cat was going to be a big running cat. Mm-hmm. And there it is.
I was going to ask you, do you channel a player? Is there Will Ashcroft in the main of the Lion one or not, or am I just looking into this?
Bit of that, yeah. The Ashcroft boy's got that great hair, and the younger one, he's got a bit of that. But the other one, is it Lomans?
Yeah. Loman.
He got nowhere.
He had a beautiful mane. He cut it off. He cut it off. I know what the cat people were saying to me, is it going to have a mullet and a big filthy headband on it? And I thought, yeah, I could do that, but it's not fair to the other, 17 blokes on the ground when you do that. But
all right, so give us a little characterisation of each. What have you gone for in the Cats?
Well, with the Cats one, they are, they are one of the greatest teams of all. So I felt I had to ink this cat up with all the cups. And when I started doing it, I thought, my God, I'm running out of cat. There's so many cups here. I think there was 10 in all. And, of course, the Tattoo, the greatest team. But there's Dangerfield in it. The way he was running through that centre of the ground at 35 years old, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
And that was my motivation for that one. And I wanted it coming at the viewer. somebody on the half-back line sees that running towards you with Dangerfield's head on it, and you're like, oh my God, I'm in trouble here.
You've captured that beautifully.
And you're Lions, so only the great teams go back to back.
Well, this is it, Gerard. I wanted to show that. We thought Lee Matthews and that period in the turn of the century was one of the great periods. Is Chris Fagan going to be one of the greatest coaches now? Will they three-peat? Will they go back to back? So I wanted to show that, and there it is with the two cats. And we talked about the hair, but there's a small homage to, of course, Fitzroy with the little Roy boys tattooed heart on the arm, which is just a little something there for the diehards.
They're both superb. One of them will be on. It goes on sale immediately after the game.
That's right, Gaz. After the game, they're on sale outside the G. The winning poster, of course. The losing one, it's soft to Vizzy to be turned into toilet paper or something to that effect. $5 gets your poster outside the G or through the goodfridayappeal.com.au, and as we know, all the money goes to the Royal Children's.
When I left home tonight, the poster you signed for me in 2022 is still on the back of the front door. It's managed to survive, and maybe it gets replaced or maybe it has to hang on for a little while longer.
Are you going to have your tradition where you put it in the front window?
Hang in the front window.
I'm going to drive past your place and take a photo of that one day.
It moves into the toilet after 5.
Mark, congratulations.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks, and obviously, look, the great cause, the goodfridayappeal.com.au is the centrepiece of it all as well.
Yep.
Well done.
Thank you.
Mark Knight with the posters, the Premiership posters for season 2025. Which one will it be come Saturday night? Tomorrow night's our special grand final program. Josh Dunkley, Simon Goodwin's done it before, Jack Revolt 3-time, Alistair Lynch, part of that golden era. Toby Green still strives for it. Razor Ray's been out there for the big day. The teams we will have, we'll know about Lachie.
Membry, now McCreery, flying shot. McCreery just across the face to the square. Oh, Jamie Elliott with one of the great final marks. Roll the replays every angle you got, because that is an absolute specky. Look at Elliott. Bang!
Wow! Picked up by Membry. Hand pass releases McCreery. He kicks off a couple of steps right to the goal line. Jamie Elliott! The man who gravity forgot floats through the air and takes a screamer on preliminary final night.
McCreery outside, got to bring it round the body. He's hit it sweetly. It's going to give it on the goal of front. Elliott has taken the mark of the year in the goal square. And dare I say it, it was vertiginous.
McCreery around the body. Good-looking kick right to the line in the square. What a fly! An unbelievable mark from Elliott.
I'm calling it, Andy, that's mark of the year.
It's a preliminary final special, and it's one of the best he has ever taken.
The mark of the year that will never be recognised as such.
That's when you want to take your mark of the year, when you get a quad call.
Yes.
See it 4 times to see how many people can say how unbelievable it was.
The Brownlow Medal merchandise is available celebrating Matt Rao's achievement. Here it is, the signed Guernsey from Matt Rao, personally signed, strictly limited. The chance, don't miss out on this. Officialmemorabilia.com.au. Purchase a moment of sun's
Get in and
history.
get that. Get in and get it. I reckon he's going to win more than one, Matthew Rao.
Start your collection now.
Start your collection now, indeed.
All right. Big night tomorrow night, Gaz.
No, I've never been that excited. So what time are we on?
I'm going to give you our best. 6:30, and I'll
have
footy
dinner?
show start. We'll just go for as long as we want.
Oh, no, don't do that. Let's not be stupid.
All right, let's head to the midweek tackle with Lauren Wood.